Purple Cow, Transform Your Business by Being Remarkable, by Seth Godin is a book about the importance of standing out in a world oversaturated with products, services, and marketing messages. Godin argues that traditional advertising no longer works the way it used to. Simply making a great product and relying on mass-market advertising is an outdated strategy because consumers are overwhelmed with choices and resistant to conventional marketing tactics. Instead, businesses must create remarkable products that people naturally talk about and share. The book is based on the idea that if you were driving through the countryside and saw a brown or black cow, you wouldn't think twice. But if you saw a purple cow, you'd immediately take notice. That's the essence of the book, how businesses must become purple cows to capture attention in an era where being merely very good is invisible. In today's crowded marketplace, being safe is actually risky. Godin emphasizes that businesses should aim to be extraordinary rather than trying to appeal to the masses. Most companies fall into the trap of playing it safe, optimizing their products for the widest possible audience, but this results in mediocrity. The key to success is to create something so remarkable that it naturally spreads through word of mouth, making marketing more organic and effective. Instead of pushing messages to consumers through advertising, businesses should focus on making their products inherently worth talking about. This means designing something that is not just different, but different in a way that makes people excited to share it. Godin discusses how traditional advertising has lost its effectiveness because consumers have developed filters against being sold to. In the past, brands could rely on mass media to reach customers and create demand. However, as advertising has become more pervasive, people have learned to ignore it. They fast-forward through commercials, block online ads, and tune out marketing messages. This means that companies must rethink their approach and create products that market themselves by being so unique that people want to spread the word. Instead of focusing on interruption-based advertising, companies should invest in making their products worth noticing. The book gives numerous examples of companies that have successfully adopted the purple cow approach. One example is Starbucks, which didn't just create another coffee shop but redefined the coffee experience by making their stores a destination rather than just a place to grab a cup of coffee. Another example is JetBlue, which differentiated itself in the airline industry by offering exceptional customer service and amenities that competitors lacked. Companies like Apple, Google, and Dyson also exemplify the purple cow mentality by consistently introducing innovative products that stand out in their industries. The lesson is clear: the most successful brands today don't rely on traditional marketing but instead create products that people naturally talk about. Godin stresses the importance of targeting early adopters and innovators rather than the mainstream audience. When launching a new product or service, most businesses try to appeal to the largest possible audience right away. However, this is a mistake because the mass market is usually skeptical of new things. Instead, companies should focus on the people who are most likely to be interested in something new, early adopters and influencers. These individuals love discovering new and remarkable things, and when they find something they love, they share it with others. This creates a ripple effect that eventually brings in the larger market. Another key point in Purple Cow is that being remarkable doesn't mean being gimmicky. Some businesses assume that standing out means being loud, shocking, or weird for the sake of it. However, true remarkability comes from providing genuine value in a unique way. A purple cow isn't just about making noise, it's about being meaningfully different. Whether that means offering an extraordinary product, an unparalleled customer experience, or an entirely new way of doing business, the key is to be so good that people can't help but talk about you. Godin also touches on the idea that companies should be willing to take risks and embrace failure as part of the innovation process. Playing it safe often leads to stagnation, while bold experimentation can lead to breakthroughs. Some of the most successful companies today have had their share of failures, but they learned from them and kept pushing forward. The key is to be willing to challenge industry norms and think differently. Innovation requires a mindset that is open to taking chances, even if some ideas don't work out. One of the challenges of being a purple cow is that it often means alienating some customers. Trying to please everyone results in bland, forgettable products. Instead, businesses should be willing to polarize their audience, knowing that their ideal customers will love them even if others don't. A great example of this is Tesla, which initially appealed to a niche market of electric car enthusiasts before becoming mainstream. By focusing on a specific, passionate audience, they created a product that stood out in the automotive industry and eventually attracted a much larger following. Godin also emphasizes that being remarkable isn't a one-time event. Companies that succeed with the purple cow approach must continue to innovate and evolve. What is remarkable today may become ordinary tomorrow, so businesses must constantly look for ways to stay ahead. This requires a culture of continuous improvement and a willingness to challenge the status quo. Companies that rest on their past success risk becoming irrelevant, as newer, more innovative competitors emerge. Throughout the book, Godin provides practical advice on how businesses can find their own purple cow. One approach is to analyze what makes their industry boring and then do the opposite. If all competitors are focused on price, a company might focus on quality instead. If everyone is offering a generic product, a company might add a unique twist that makes it stand out. The key is to identify what is missing in the market and create something that fills that gap in a remarkable way. Another strategy is to look at industries outside one's own for inspiration. Some of the most innovative ideas come from borrowing concepts from different fields. For example, the hospitality industry has learned a lot from technology companies about personalization and customer experience. Likewise, the fashion industry has taken inspiration from the art world in creating limited edition collections. By looking beyond one's own industry, businesses can find fresh ideas that set them apart. Godin also argues that leadership plays a crucial role in creating a purple cow. Many companies fail to innovate because they are afraid of change or because their leaders are too focused on short-term gains. To build a remarkable company, leaders must be willing to take risks, invest in creativity, and encourage a culture of experimentation. They must also be willing to ignore critics and focus on creating something truly valuable rather than trying to fit in. The book ends with a challenge, to stop settling for average and start aiming for greatness. Most companies are stuck in a cycle of mediocrity because they are afraid to stand out. But in today's fast-moving world, being ordinary is the riskiest strategy of all. The only way to succeed is to embrace boldness, creativity, and differentiation. Ultimately, Purple Cow is not just a book about marketing but a call to action for anyone who wants to create something extraordinary. Whether you're an entrepreneur, a designer, or a business leader, the principles of this book can help you break through the noise and build something that truly matters. By daring to be different, challenging conventions, and focusing on creating remarkable value, businesses and individuals alike can stand out in a world that rewards those who dare to be unforgettable.